people who choose to go into the rabbinate do so generally at the sacrifice of their financial well-being.
Rabbinical school isn't an inexpensive venture. For us, it was definitely stressful to come out of school and have such huge debt.
The idea of the grant was to enable a new rabbi to enter the profession at a lesser salary with the backing of this fund that would enable the rabbi to support family and self, and yet do a service that was meaningful for the community and for the rabbi.
Being on the precipice of, okay, school's ended, I've been living off student loans for 5 years, and then having to think about getting a job and having to think about, okay, now I have to pay off this debt. That's a pretty daunting space to be. And so getting this award felt very big, very impactful to me.
Any financial help that came my way at the beginning had made it possible for me to take a job that was risky at a half-time salary, to move cross country with a family with a 6-month-old and a 3.5-year-old, when the congregation needed rabbinic support but couldn't really afford it. I'm Rabbi David Bassior. I graduated from RRC in 2015, and I have the privilege and honor to serve as rabbi for the Kadima Reconstructionist community in Seattle, Washington. For over 40 years now, we've been a home for Jews who find themselves often removed or excluded or rejected in other Jewish spaces, sometimes because of their politics, sometimes because of their intermarriage, sometimes because of their race or racial identity or status. When I got here, there were 35-ish families, households. The school existed and was wonderful, very Hamish, Yiddish for homey and comfy. And it was, maybe 25 to 7 students. Now we're looking at a community of over 200 households with over 80 students in the school, even during COVID.
One of the things that I love about Reconstructionism is we're always looking at things and saying, how can we creatively remedy a problem that exists? And the idea of funding in relatively small grants, amounts that could enable a young rabbi to take a position that was going to be so meaningful to the rabbi and the community he was going to serve, whether it was in a pulpit or in an educational position or any role that was there, was so important.
Someone was able to help this community make a leap into having a rabbi. This community, remember, only had 2 rabbis previously and did not have a rabbi for at least 10 years before I came here.
I love the work that I do. I get to work with families. I get to teach. I get to lead services. So both from a place of material support, stress reducing, the ability to save money and put it towards other things that are more valuable, wouldn't have been as immediately possible or as easy without the support of this fund.
At the time that I made this gift, it was agreed that this was going to be done anonymously. However, I've come to realize that it's very important for donors to out themselves and share how painless it is, how gratifying it is to give, as an example to others.
I think this fund is just one example of the kind of generosity that we see in our movement that really wants to think about supporting a whole person.
Thank you so much. I am profoundly grateful for your generosity. So privileged to be the recipient of it. It makes a profound difference in my life.
You enabled a community of 35 to grow into over 200 You enabled countless Jewish young people to be in school where we learn about the intersections of language and justice and Torah and each other. What you're doing and the ways that you're giving are really changing people's lives. Thank you.